as we're kind of winding down here, how do we help sell these benefits to the customers? We've hopefully made a decent argument to the builders to say why this would be helpful for you in terms of cost, speed, carbon footprint. How do we get customers to say, hey, I want a prefab home? So what is the advice that we give for those builders to try to help sell?
I'll start and let Dave finish.
Sure.
I think there's a change of what the customer is looking for, and we can blame on part of this on the pandemic. But with our envelopes, we have very, very, very controlled air infiltration, right? It's about controlling air. When you can control the air infiltration, we can then make a home very comfortable, both clean for viral infections, which we have a much easier lift than an average stick builder with tons of air infiltration. So it's about home air quality. It's about energy efficiency and what you spend to heat and cool your water and your house and your heating air. Those are three big things. I predict in the next 5 to 6 years, people are going to be looking on Zillow and they're going to be seeing a HERS rating. They're going to be judging homes based on air quality, based on res check. How is my air? How much does this home cost to heat and cool? It's coming. It's coming, and it's going to be judged that way. So we've got to adopt it, and I think be sensitive to what the new buyer is looking for and being able to provide that. That's all I got.
Dave, Ken?
Did you?
The new buyers are savvy about energy efficiency, carbon footprints, things that we didn't used to sell in a home. And so this is an easy way to appeal to those attractions.
I would just say that a lot of the times, the customer for us is not the homeowner, it's the builder. So it's really a matter of us giving the builders, who would be our customers, the confidence to sell the benefits to the customer. And this is why we provide, I mentioned earlier, one of my roles at the company is I'm a site advisor. So for our customers, builders, that they want to try, they want to dip their toe in, they want to do it, but they just need that sort of push. We offer this service where somebody can come out for a day or two and just kind of get you started. And once the builder has confidence, that builder can then sell the benefits of the prefabricated systems with confidence. And that's what they lack. The builders who have never done it, they lack the confidence to go and sit in front of a homeowner and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build it like this. And when the homeowner says, really, I've never heard of that, and the builder can just fire right back and say, well, you're just not going to believe all, and really feel that confidence in the sell. So that's where I think from our perspective, we need to first educate and provide the confidence to the builders.
Excellent. So we've got 5 minutes left. We'll turn it over to some Q&A. We'll get the microphone out. What questions do you still have out here in the audience you feel like have not been answered so far, or maybe things that have been said here that made you wonder or question about feasibility of using this? I'll give you some time to think here. Here in the back.
So in regards to the plumbing and electric that we talked about, if we have 12 home plans that we repeat pretty regularly, what's the process to work with a panelization company to then take our architecturals and then convert them to be optimized using panels and then locations for plumbing chases, electrical chases, etc.? What's the first step in that process?
I'll just start that and then let Dave, but you're doing what we don't like to do, but as long as you're flexible in some things, then that's the way to do it. I mean, if you've got 12 designs, this is what you build all the time, then just be flexible, meet with the producer, and you'll probably have to make some small concessions. That's about it. If you get into volumetric, it's a little bit more complicated because we're now dealing with transportation boxes. But in a straight panel solution, just hand that set over to your partner and work through the sets and get it optimized.
Yeah, I would agree. Typically, we avoid plumbing within exterior walls. prefabricated walls. One of the reasons, it's obvious what happened last year in Texas when it got cold and all the houses, all the plumbing blew up, and they look at the problems they had, and that's because that's what happens when you put plumbing in exterior walls. It's just not where it's meant to be. So keep the plumbing out of the exterior walls. The electrical within the walls is quite, we just build a grid into the panels. There's a 2 parallel or horizontal chases that go right around the perimeter of the building that you can run your wires that are unobstructed. You can put your boxes anywhere along those lines. We also put vertical chases typically, beside exterior doors. A lot of people, obviously, they want lighting outside. And we can run the electrical chases right up in line with chases if you do have roof panels that you can join up with. So it is different for sure, but we can move those chases around. We're not limited. It doesn't matter. We can add chases. These days we see more and more smart homes. So you have high voltage and low voltage electrical systems running side by side, but they need to be separated, so we can accommodate for that. We're fairly flexible in terms of the electrical, but in terms of plumbing, you just keep it out of the exterior walls.
And I kind of feel like both you're being nice. Part of it is also, hey, you have 12 designs of what you've been doing before. Let's design you 12 from scratch that fit.
Yeah, we usually can meet all the same density requirements and looks and feels. It's just maybe a 6 inches here or a foot there, because again, we don't want to build a panel and waste it. So it's a 4x10, 4x8, 4x12 panel, whatever that panel size is, we try to build to maximize that full panel, so I'm not cutting down a 4-foot panel and throwing off a piece.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we do. And
I think we're more
value engineer that.
Yeah, and I think for what we're doing different things. We're more slightly more custom, and we put in the electrical chases before we even manufacture the panel. We also do try to optimize, obviously, these 8x24 foot panels that we have, but in terms of electrical, we can be a little bit flexible with
Typically, all SIPs has a predetermined core for the electrical in it. It's just chased. So you pull the wire down every determined 2 feet on that panel, you know there's a chase coming down. If you're in Chicago, we're going to have to conduit that, right, because of the fire rating. So every city and municipality may have a little tweak on top of that envelope, but every SIP I've ever seen or touched in its core has electrical inside the EPS cord out already for you to run.
Okay, we are at time. I need to make sure we get you to where you're supposed to be. But the wrap up here is that if you aren't seriously considering it, you should be. And you need to figure out ways to start gaining this competency, whether it's doing a little she shed, whether it's at least saying, hey, this year, 2023, we're going to go visit someone who's doing this and learn. But it's important. This is the future. It's coming. It's going to give you advantages, and it's the right thing to do. I hope you all come back for lunch, and we'll get to take this to the next level and look about how to go whole hog. So at this point, you've got your boardroom discussions on your schedule. If you can head to those, be there on time, and we'll see you at lunch. Who gets the book?
Chris, you got the book.
Give a round of applause for our panel. Thank you.